Hey guys, just checking I'm live on Facebook as well. Yep, didn't let me down too much so far. I don't know if it's going to let me down, but I'm hoping I don't have too many technical issues. I hope the image you're seeing is different to what I'm seeing because I'm seeing like a blurry image. So I don't know if there's something wrong with YouTube or my camera or my laptop or whatever. But I made my last video about Juventus. I don't know if it was my internet connection or my laptop or YouTube or whatever, but I was having some technical issues with Facebook for ages, and then I had to go back and redo it again, that kind of thing. And then YouTube didn't seem to end the video it wouldn't let me end the stream for some reason. I thought, what's going on here? And then my mouse or whatever, it's not even a mouse, whatever this thing is, on the laptop froze, and then so I just unplugged it so it uncharged and then put it back on. But so I had technical issues on Facebook with it uploading, and then I had technical issues with YouTube not let me end the stream, and then I had technical issues with my laptop, which may have been the problem in the first place, I don't know, or it may well be my internet connection. So I'm not sure if it's Facebook, YouTube, my internet connection, and stroke all my laptop, or a range of those things. But it wouldn't let me end, wouldn't let me start the stream. Go back and do the title and description, and then let me upload it. Thankfully, at least on the second time of asking, because sometimes it takes ages. And then YouTube wouldn't end my video, and then it looks like it has recorded that video I made on YouTube, on Juventus, hopefully, or at least on YouTube, but Facebook seems to have cut bits out of that video or not uploaded it properly. So I've had technical issues again. I don't know if it's with Facebook, YouTube, my internet connection, and stroke on my laptop, or again 2, 3, or even all 4 of those things. But anyway, here we are. Another thing is, I wish I would have wrote in my diary today, but I've got 2 diaries. One in the shop. It's a bit silly of me, but as I said before in my previous video that I did earlier, it could be that I if I lose one, heaven forbid, or whatever, at least I've got another one. Or I could just, if I'm struggling to write, I just could have one, like a rough copy, just scribble down any ideas or anything that comes to me. But one of the things, the reason why I got that is to like if my mum calls me or anything like that, to say if my mum calls me to sort of say, or if my mum, because I'm a bit sad I still live with my mum, or if anyone says, oh, do you want to go to this, look through, like, consult my diary. So basically to be more organised, but things I've got to get things written down. But anyway, nice story. But yeah, I feel a bit bad because I didn't really write it in my diary, or any of my diaries, I've got to, and like a personal organiser, which I'd love to be more organised. And another thing, before I go on to the list from points number 11 to 20, as per usual, I just want to say as well, I suppose I took so many, I got so many paperworks at once rather than focus on one at a time, so I've been struggling to make decisions, but and I've been a bit pessimistic and negative, feeling a bit negative this month, but and obviously, but hopefully it'll get better. But anyway, these are points number 11 to 20. So here you go. So number 11, I love to think about things I need to change, and maybe people could advise me on things I need to improve, although I do struggle to implement the advice, I guess. But I will try and take it on board as best I can. I know people might say, oh, the advice you better don't listen, but I mean, I got to admit, like, I don't necessarily have the funds to buy better equipment or whatever, for like my camera or the lighting situation or audio or whatever, but at the moment I'm going to make the best of what I've got at this moment in time, but hopefully I'll improve as I go along. Like, I think if I had a studio, I suppose it would be more professional, which is not really the real me, but also it would feel a bit more like airbrushed, if that's the right word. Like, people accuse politicians of being airbrushed, but so I hope the image is shown properly, but it's like I'm seeing like a blurred vision. But sometimes that happens, and when I go back to look at the video, it records properly. But yeah, the thing about change is I'm a creature of habit, so it is difficult to change. When it comes to a new month, and especially a new year, I like to cut my nails, my finger and toenails. I used to clean my ears with earbuds, but apparently not supposed to do that because you could damage the eardrum or whatever, or get yourself an injury. But I think they say you're supposed to just use oil, like olive oil or something like that, or whatever. But you're not supposed to put tissue or cotton buds or anything else in your ear, and even like using the shower head. Some people use that, but apparently you can. That in fact, that's what the nurse told me. You can perforate your eardrum or whatever. But a nurse told me a while back. But yeah, so I like to try and freshen things up. Although I'm a messy hoarder, and I'm not the most professional, but I like to cut my nails so they're not too long. Hopefully, both my finger and toenails if I can. Especially at the beginning of a new month, and especially in the new year, I might change my bedding, strip and remake my bedding if I can. If I have the energy or whatever, ASAP. And because I'm really clumsy, I don't know if I should admit to this, but my stepdad shaves me. So yeah, I like to sort of freshen up for a new month. But as I say, I'm a creature of habit, so making changes is very difficult. But one thing I could perhaps do is try and stick to one thing at a time, which I struggle with. Anyway, I'm going to move on to point number 12 and say in point number 12, there was something I was going to say in part one which I forgot to do, but I didn't get around to finishing off part two like this, or part 2, 3, and 4 on Thursday or even Friday. I didn't upload any videos on Friday. I wanted to upload either something about facts about Italian football and stroke core, things I learned, and a review of 2025. But I suppose in hindsight I would have done like facts about Italian football and research. But I suppose I went out with my mates, so I didn't really, a couple of my mates, so I didn't really have much time. Again, a nice life story, as I normally say. But ideally I would have done, in hindsight, I would have found out like 40 facts about Italian football and shared them. And then on the 21st of this month, maybe did a review of 2025, as the saying goes, 21 again. If I get around to that, hopefully I'll do a review, maybe on the 21st, although it is, I know, towards the end of the month. But yeah, there were a few things I wanted to say in before, which I forgot to say in part one, but one problem I got is I keep sort of forgetting things and struggling to focus on one thing at a time as usual. But I suppose I'm putting more pressure on myself to do so because I keep wanting to take on a new month. I won't say take on new challenges because I'm a bit lazy, or very lazy. But anyway, I wanted to. I keep forgetting my train of thought, and it's a bit worrying, I suppose. I think I head the ball too much in football or soccer for any Americans out there. But remember my train of thought and things, like remember things, which is a bit annoying. But there were a few things I wanted to say in part one which I forgot, and I thought I'm going to get around to saying them in part two. But I don't know if I think I got really tired and went to sleep, and probably got a bit lazy and stressed, so I didn't really get around to part two, obviously. But I thought I'd do that today. But anyway, moving on, number 13. I hope to focus on Italian soccer or football or footy, calcio, or whatever you want to call it, especially Juventus because it's January. But Italian teams like the national team, Juventus, Italian football generally, including Roma especially, on Monday. So hopefully focus on hopefully tomorrow I'll talk about AC Monza, and then the week after, if I get around to it, hopefully Inter Milan, and then the week after that AC Milan, all being well. So I think that's the plan, and then Torino Tuesdays and Thursdays, even though they're rivals of Juventus. But I hope to focus on Juventus as much as possible, especially on the weekends. Might do Fiorentina Fridays, Frosinone Fridays, and that kind of thing, and the national team, and my dreams for Juventus, especially fundraising for Juventus to have so many youth academies, as I mentioned in my last video, which hopefully I came across, and I'm hoping to talk more about that. All being well, next Sunday, next week, as it happens, I'll talk about like a new Juventus, how I dream there'll be a new Juventus, and they'll learn from the past and that kind of thing. And ideally, and I know I mentioned this in my last video again, but I'd love to fundraise for and help like Milan, AC Milan, and Roma, and Italian football team generally to have loads of funds. But Juventus to be like proud to produce loads of great young players for the national team, and maybe be a feeder club for Roma and the national team. I'm sure there are most Juventus fans will probably disagree with me on that. But it's a little idea of mine. The thing about being a fan of Italian football generally. So I love you, Giallorossi Galacticos, as a nickname is Giallorossi, but I'll probably talk more about that another time. I know I've mentioned it in the past as well, but the new Real Madrid and that kind of thing. Yeah, if I had loads of money, or if I could, generally, I would love to fundraise for Roma to have the best possible players in the world, the best possible team, and the best possible squad as well. But also Italian teams like Milan to have loads of great players as well, and have like the best possible managers, coaches, coaching staff, and that kind of thing. But Juventus, as I say, because it means youth in English, as I mentioned in my last video, I'd love for them to have a great youth set up, the best in the world, preferably to have loads of academies all over the world, and especially in Italy. Number 14, I'd love to solve problems. Number 15, I'm hoping on Tuesday, all being well, to have a chat with my friend Alicia, as I did in the past, to talk about goal setting, just general goal setting, and my plans for this month, which are about benefiting Italian football, especially Juventus, as I say, like Juventus January, I think off because of my use of alliterations. But yeah, maybe different months. Like in February, I hope to talk about empowering, thinking about my plans more for the year itself. I hope to talk about empowering African Americans and people from Africa in February, and maybe get back to talking about Celtic as well. And then I've got plans for the rest of the year, but I won't probably get into too much detail right now because otherwise the video will be way too long. If it's not already too long, it'll be even longer. So I'm going to move on to number 16. I think it'd be cool, as I say, to hyper focus and to focus especially on Italian football, Italian soccer, or whatever you want to call it. I might not talk too much about Celtic as I normally do, because I want to focus more on the selfish plans to make Italian football the number one. Again, hopefully to make Italian football great again, that kind of thing, and see what can be done to help that to happen, and what Italian football can learn to do and generally do to improve, and how to attract investment to Italian football. Number 17, I hope to use my imagination to do that kind of thing, and again, hyper focus on that thing. Number 18, I'm suffering from the January blues, but I hope to be as positive as possible. I wish I was an optimist and a positive person. Number 19, as I say, I'd love to see how to fundraise for Italian football to get better players. Sometimes they'll be from overseas, and sometimes better Italian players themselves. Hopefully things will improve at Celtic as well, but it's a long way to go. But on Wednesday, I'll talk about Celtic, but I think, again, I'm going to talk not too much about Celtic. It'll be much more about Italian football being well. And number 20, as I say, youth development in Italian football, and seeing what older players can contribute, like what older people can do to help to coach, mentor, teach, and train younger players. And again, youth development, that kind of thing. Having more academies and coaching facilities and that kind of thing, generally teaching and training and whatnot for football, and trying to fundraise on that kind of thing, using my neurodivergent creativity, perhaps use my mind creativity. Although I'm going to try not to talk on that note too much about their dyslexia or neurodivergent stuff until at least March, if not like May or August even. Anyway. Yeah, so hopefully hyper-focusing, as I say, on Italian football and whatever benefits Italian football, and including in my diary and writing whatever ideas I can, and maybe using the next videos, if not tonight, maybe videos in the future, I'll bring my notebooks as a prop, if that's the right word, to sort of show, give a visual example of writing in those notebooks. And on that note, I'm out, and peace out.